Good morning. It's a little bit before 8. I guess I started a little bit early. Darth Chaos was chatting before our screen was even up. Said, I hope everyone's doing well. Says, doing pretty well, all things considered. Currently sitting down with some plushies as of right now. Always a good thing. Get cuddly with your plushies. And says also this month is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, at least in the USA, and Pride Month. So that's always a good thing to keep in mind too. I think it is important to remember that our society right now is set up to encourage mental illness. Not that there's some great conspiracy or something where they're trying to make us, they are trying to make us mentally ill, but we're in a situation in which many people cannot make financial ends meet, where people are isolated from each other, where people have devices that are required to participate in society. You basically need to have a phone in order to participate in society. And you have social media in which we are expected to keep in touch with, that a lot of people get addicted to, use incorrectly because the algorithms encourage you to use it incorrectly. And, there are people who are on it for, I don't know how people do this, but there are people on it for 10 hours plus a day. I don't understand that. I do not have that addiction. But, yeah, it's not a good place out there. And then add to that the fact that there's sort of this cultural prejudice against men getting therapy. And I feel like it's kind of a bad situation. And Devil says morning, and I don't understand that either. Yeah, for sure. But in addition, it's also Pride Month. I'm wearing my rainbow Marvel t-shirt. It's about the closest thing to Pride stuff I have. I am bisexual. I don't really talk about it a whole lot. Because I feel like it's kind of a small aspect to who I am, but yeah, I am. And it's kind of nice to have Pride Month to remind me to be seen, because I think the more people that come out and talk about it, the more that there will be acceptance. I mean, that really seems to have happened from the year 2000 to now. We had a bunch of people come out and people realized oh, these are my family members. They're not monsters. And, now we have approval of gay marriage in the US much higher. It's basically flip-flopped where people approve of it now. So, little things that are important. But and I initially was gonna say, I feel a little shame because I bought another Humble Bundle, but no, I have pride in that decision as well. It's actually Stories of Pride Humble Bundle. It is still on sale for 6 more days. And it has a variety of games in it. Narrative based, seems like mostly not necessarily all visual novel stuff, but some amount of visual novel stuff. It's 8 games for a donation of $18 or more. And there's also a 7-item bundle, 5-item bundle, 3-item bundle if you want to get item bundle. 7-item bundle, 5-item bundle, and 3-item bundle if you only want some of them. Yeah, so, and it goes to help the Trevor Project. So this is the first one of those. There's 2 games in this bundle that start with letters that we've already passed. So this one is Arcadia Fallen, The Legend of the Spirit Alchemist. Hilariously, right after I bought this bundle, Facebook started showing me ads for a Kickstarter for Arcadia Fallen 2. So it made that connection of, oh, you bought this game, maybe you'll be interested in supporting this game. Facebook is scary, man. It's scary how much they are watching you. And it's not even they, it's a computer. It's a computer seeing what you're doing and, like, making connections. Anywho. But yeah, I bought the bundle, and then one of the games in the bundle was Monster Prom 2 Monster Camp. And I happened to be looking and saw that the original Monster Prom and its DLC was on sale for $5, so I also picked that up too. I don't know how much longer that's on sale for, but that's another kind of visual novel choices matter type of thing. Yeah, I think this game, Arcadia Fallen, came out in 2021. So it's like, I think that's enough time to start developing a sequel, right? 3 years? It's 2024 now, believe it or not. The pandemic did really weird things to time. But anywho, the Steam store describes this game as a choose-your-own-adventure visual novel otome. Play the role of a young alchemist apprentice who is unwillingly bound to an illegal spirit. Suddenly drawn into a war between humanity and magic, they must join a group of unlikely heroes to escape their own doom, hopefully saving the world along the way. So, yeah, I guess we can go ahead and get started. I'm gonna turn the sound up a little bit. Got some nice chill music so far. And, I already looked at reverb, yeah, that's fine. I already looked at the settings. Controls. Huh, controller vibration. I'm not using a controller, but I hate controller vibration. So I guess we can just start with a new game. Oh, we have a guest? Welcome. I was just about to tell a story. And I think I may just have found the perfect main character. What do we call you? Choose your name. Looks like the default is Morgan. A fine name. Let us put a face to it. Design a character? Character design time. Feminine, androgynous, or masculine? I feel like androgynous is just small or masculine, but okay. Hairstyle. Got 2 different styles of hair. We will choose the more practical hairstyle. Colors. Oh, okay, this is her hair color. blue hair if you want. Purple hair. I like that color. Different skin tones. Eye color. Top color. I'm mostly keeping the person the same. Oh, you can do he, him, or they, them.
Right?
Okay, and a more feminine voice or more masculine voice. Okay. Alright, I mainly get the person the defaults, but that's alright. Letters, are you ready to become a legend? What if I say no? Oh, if I want to change more of the style. Got it. Alright, we'll just say this is fine. Yes, I am. I am ready to become a legend.
From the shimmer of light in the workshop, you felt safe to the broken glass in the streets, reflecting her fright. Desperation can set the stage for acts of villainy, and heroes may need to confront their demons in more ways than one. For a choice to be made, you must overcome the binding and twining of souls of bond, so strong it may just keep you both on top. Yes, you. What will you do when the call for action beckons you to choose? Yes, you. What will you be? A hero, a villain, or a monster indeed?
Okay, there were lyrics, and they were also introducing me to characters, and I feel like because I was trying to do both, I got none of that. But that's okay. I'm sure we will be introduced to people later. To the east, way past even the capital of Eridas, lies a small town known as Anemone Valley, and in the town sits a very special shop. Despite its modest size, the store is visited by most, for it is the only one of its kind in the town. A store that sells alchemy. It's owned by Elizabeth, a master of her craft and well respected among those who buy her wares. And you just happen to be her apprentice.
Thank you for your purchase. Please come again.
Your master is firm but kind in her teachings. She treats the herbs with religious dedication, and for the better part of your life, you've been trying to learn as much as you can from her.
We are running low on headache remedies. Would you mind handling the room table for a moment?
What a headache. Oh, okay, so it's letting me know the emotion behind it. So I can say cheerful, sure, I'll do it, or what a headache, or are you sure?
Of course. I'll get to work at once.
The rune table is an artifact provided to alchemists by the School of Magic. It runs on a core of controlled magic and can be manipulated by anyone with the proper training. It is of course not as powerful as an actual mage, but it is quite practical for making household charms and remedies. Headache cures being one of the more popular options. You get to work preparing the ingredients as a tall man with an intimidating glare enters the store.
What can I do for you today, sir?
Spare me. Just give me the usual. Make it quick. I don't want to stick around in this creepy freak show any longer than I have to.
Right. One remedy coming right up.
Behind the man, a shadow moves. A child peeks out, staring around the room with big, frightened eyes. You haven't seen the kid around the shop before. By the looks of it, he has been told one too many tales of child-eating potion makers. Smile and wave. You smile at the kid and give them a friendly wave. At first he freezes, realizing he has been caught, but then he slowly emerges and gives a shy wave back. Elizabeth coughs to get your attention, and you realize she's looking at you expectantly. Oh right, the potion. Ooh, we be making potions. Okay. Headache remedy, a basic healing potion that works wonders on headaches. It also smells nice. Begin by placing lavender into the table. Oh, it wants me to put it here? Turn the center wheel. The left wheel. Match any pattern to the right by mixing ingredients in the center. Okay. Customer wants a strong headache remedy. Okay. I made strong headache remedy. Hand over potion. Yeah! Hand the potion to Elizabeth.
Here you go, sir. One extra strong headache remedy.
Elizabeth hands the potion to the customer, who pays with a grunt and nothing more. Was interesting. The kindness and grace of humanity never cease to amaze me. Do not judge them all by this man's example letters. Magic has been feared in this nation for a long time. He was simply one of the few acting upon his fears. I'm proud of the way you handled that. I know it's difficult to keep calm with someone like that in the store. I try.
Happy to help.
He really was quite the character. I agree. However, given the state of things, incidents like these are hard to avoid. People like us have to pick our battles carefully, lest we end up in a position where we can do nothing at all. But enough of that. I have another job for you. We just used up the last of the lavender making that remedy. Would you be so kind as to go buy some more? Let's change the recipe. You gonna be okay? I mean, I was making that headache remedy for her. What if that guy comes back? I've handled my share of angry customers. They're not going to intimidate this old witch. Now go before it gets dark. Okay. You gather your things, then leave the store with small wave. I'm assuming the flower shop will be where I need to go. Smells heavenly. Strange exotic plants are growing everywhere. The colors vibrant and glowing with the faintest hint of magic.
Come in. Here to pick up supplies, I presume? Oh, perfect timing. Today's been so slow. I was going quite mad. How are things?
The owner, Quinn, has had the store for a little over a year. The first full year of the small town having their very own mage. Oh, sarcastic. People have been really rude today. It's been kind of rough. People seem to be in quite a bad mood today.
Oh dear.
Guess I should count my blessings I haven't had any customers today. It's only natural things are a bit tense. After the ivy woods wilted, people are suspecting some wicked magic to be at work. Which of course means people are less keen on coming near us magic folk. What happened to the ivy woods?
Curious.
You haven't heard? Here I thought small town news was supposed to travel fast. Yesterday, an entire section of the forest just died. I wanted to go and gather some samples to see if it's perhaps a rare disease killing the trees, but I can't leave the shop and I don't want to be caught out there investigating. People might start suspecting I was the one who did it, and I really don't need that kind of attention.
I wonder.
What kind of samples do you need?
Actually,
Anything would do it. Cutting from a dead tree, a pinch of the dirt, could all tell me something about how it died. I'll get it for you. Forest isn't that far, and it might help.
absolutely not.
Elizabeth would kill me if she found out I sent you there alone. Dangerous. Nobody but trained demon hunters would or should go near the area. Oh, I didn't know that. No, it's better to let the officials handle this. I'm sure they'll figure out the cause soon enough. Hopefully then things will calm down. I guess you were right. I am always right, darling.
Tell me about...
You're the first. It's quite odd. By this time, I usually have at least a couple people poke their heads in, out of curiosity, if anything. But today has been completely quiet. I was starting to wonder if perhaps I'd missed some kind of local holiday tradition. But I guess in the end, people are just wary of magic due to what happened in the forest. It's sad.
What do you mean?
People always suspect magic. It's always easier to blame something you don't understand, especially when you're only exposed to hearsay and rumors. People out here don't experience the good sides of magic, like the self-driving wagons and other handy devices created by the Tinkers in Eridus, or the grand theater shows the illusionists down south. I have you, though.
Thank you.
And I do believe the people here are warming up to me. After all, flowers and herbs are hardly something you could create much controversy over. Which is also why it was I, and not some firework tinker, who was sent here. You were sent here?
So...
Oh no, darling. When a mage graduates from the academy, we are assigned a shop to practice our craft. We do get to make proposals for where we'd like to go, but ultimately it's up to a council to distribute the graduates. Like having a medical residency. They will consider the needs of towns and cities and the danger the mage might pose if they work without supervision. I, for one, am quite happy where I ended up.
Really?
I thought you'd want to be somewhere more lively, like one of the capitals or something? Oh no, that's way too dull. I wouldn't learn anything in a forest of bricks. Out here, I'm right in the center of the greatest garden of all, not to mention the fascinating underground of the magic mines. The energy coursing through the soil here is completely unique, and I keep finding new specimens that would make the students back at the college green with envy.
Really?
There are mages who just make fireworks? Of course, but they're not just fireworks. They are the best, most beautiful fireworks on the continent. Created to dazzle and entertain, they are a marvelous sight to behold. Sounds amazing.
Actually...
You'll have to go to the capital to see it, I'm afraid. Such magic has to be performed under strict supervision, but it is worth the journey for sure. I have no more questions.
Oh, you'll love this.
The world can't go round without the madam's great headache remedy, can it now? Give me a second. Quinn finds the herbs you asked for and pays for your
Come back
wares.
soon.
Do say hi for Elizabeth when we get back. It's getting late, but the streets are still buzzing with activity. Citizens are making their final rounds, shopping, and greeting friends while walking home from work. A bard is sitting on the stones in the square, entertaining a small group of children, and you find yourself pausing to listen in as he spins his tale.
Then, the Witch Queen of the North raised an army of demons from the depths of the mountains and laid waste to the lands. It was a time where wild magic ruled, and the people of this continent were bent under its heel.
The children gasp and huddle closer, and you smile. You've heard the story many times before and know just where it is going.
But then, from the ashes of a burned nation, rose 7 heroes. They were the chosen ones, the paragons, and together they rallied the people and beat back the demon Scourge and their evil mistress.
The children cheer. He's quite good.
Once the battle was over, they formed the Empire.
It is really nice artwork, isn't it, Devils? I feel like, it has kind of sharp angles, but, like, it's distinctive. It's interesting. I like it, too.
A nation governed not by magic, but by people. The first Paragon traveled south and built the Seven Winds Academy, a school to teach the next generations of mages so that magic may never again be used for chaos. The second Paragon traveled the continent to rid it from the remains of the witch's ilk.
You've been back and forth about trying this out? Well, you got like 6 more days to consider the Humble Bundle.
During his travels, other heroes chose to join his ranks, and that is how the Order of the Demon Hunters was formed.
So, the game itself... So, there is a demo of this game, if you want to try out the demo. Although, I imagine it won't show you much more than I'm showing you here. The game is $24.99. I got this and 7 other games for $18 on the Humble Bundle. So, even if you're only interested in Arcadia Fallen, the Humble Bundle is worth it.
The remaining 5 set out to each build a great city. Cities that would later become the capitals of the Empire. And in the central capital built by Alethros, their leader, stand 7 seats, each representing one of the 7 rulers of the Empire. And from these seats, their successors still rule to this day. The end.
Lore. There's clapping and cheering, with some of the adults around politely joining in, but one of the children raises their hand, head tilted in curiosity the way only children can do.
Mr. Bard, sir, you say there are 7 seats, but my mom says there are only 6. Why should the mages have a seat?
The air suddenly tenses. The market has gone quiet, all eyes now turn to the bard who remains unfazed, smiling.
That's the thing about stories. Sometimes they don't actually end, even if the bard has said so. They become the beginning of something new.
He turns slightly and you swear for a moment he is looking straight at you before he shrugs.
But alas, I was only paid to tell you rascals one tale for today. So, that particular sequel will have to wait for another time.
Very, very diplomatically done. There's a collection of groans of dismay, but the kids get up and leave. You two figure you've lingered long enough and continue on your way. You've almost reached home, but you come to a halt when you hear someone cry out. Your head whips round toward a dark street. The people around you keep walking, ignoring the sound even as it grows louder. Can't they hear? Sorry I keep yawning. I'm not sure why I've been doing that. You glance around but see no reaction. Everyone just carries on apathetically. You know you should probably do the same. You can vividly imagine Elizabeth's disapproving stare, but the darkness of the alley beckons you, and you leave the busy street to investigate. A man is standing over the form of a young girl, or what appears to be a girl.
Really, there's no need for this. I was simply a bit lost, you see? I didn't mean to wander into your town uninvited. Just let me go, and I'll be out of your hair for good. Gone. Whoosh.
You expect me to believe that, spirit?
Devil says you will double check it on the eShop and PSN, see if it's on sale there.
I am not fooled by your petty tricks and illusions. I see you, and I am going to make sure whatever wicked scheme you have planned ends right here.
I swear, I'm not planning anything.
Demon spawn like you don't belong in this world. Die, you filthy creature!
He's going to kill her. You have to do something, but what? Your choice will influence your personality going forward. Kind, that poor girl needs my help. The kindness in your heart compels you to take action. No way that bully is getting away with this. Adventurous, the thrill of adventure beckons you to take on this challenge. No, I think the girl needs my help. Stop that.
You're hurting her.
Oh. I apparently have some voice lines. That makes sense. They did say, pick your voice. The man spins around. His eyes are crazed, dangerous, and familiar. Oh, it's this jerk. A chill runs down your spine as something flashes in the man's eyes. You could have sworn they almost looked red.
You're that old hag's apprentice, aren't you? You lure people with your pretty potions and promises of healing. But in the end, you're just the same. You... magic scum like you should all just die.
Oh, he's like possessed or something. He moves so fast, there's a blur of movement, and then you feel a sharp pain in your chest. You look down and see the hilt of a knife, a bloom of red growing outwards, staining everything. Weirdly, you almost don't feel the pain. Shock is making the strangest of thoughts suddenly relevant.
So, that's what a lot of blood looks like.
And after being stabbed in the heart, you die. GG.
It's thicker than I imagined and more red.
Thank you. You really saved me there. I'm sorry this had to happen. Let me see. Ouch, yeah? He got you real good, didn't he? Pierced the heart. Humans need hearts, I am certain of that. And such a kind heart, too. Don't be scared. I'll fix it, I promise. It won't be easy, though. It really isn't quite the state. I think I can mend it. But it needs something to stick it together. Your soul, I mean. No use mending the body when you're well, dead. Sorry. That was rather insensitive, wasn't it? Nothing wrong with being dead. I mean, it happens to all of us, but... Oh, right. Not important.
Just a moment.
Just a moment. Fix you right up.
Oh, my head.
Yeah. Sorry about that. You knocked your head pretty bad when you fell. We should get you a potion for that.
You blearily force your eyes open. You are still in the alleyway, but the street has gone quiet and the afternoon light has faded. You must have been unconscious for a while. Your hand flies up to your chest, expecting to find the knife still sticking out, but there's no wound.
It doesn't hurt, right? Honestly, I don't know much about human skin, so I kind of just stitched it together the best I could.
That man was threatening you, wasn't he? Did he hurt you at all?
You're too kind. I'm fine. I mean, he was kind of scary, but I've seen worse. I'm so sorry you got involved in this, though. You're the first kind human I've seen in a while. And I go and get you killed. I'm the worst. That guy was really something, though. To think a spirit would go as far as to possess a human like that?
So he was possessed.
I know the whole humans against magic thing doesn't make for the best of relationships, but there's no need to be rude. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're probably confused, right? Please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
I met that guy earlier today. He wasn't nice back then either, but the way he treated you was horrible.
Well, you know, humans don't usually care much for spirits. They're supposedly illegal, after all. Chaotic magic, dangerous, yada yada. This guy was particularly aggressive about it, though.
Like they're illegal immigrants. How can you declare a person illegal?
His heart has a lot of hate inside it, which is probably the reason why the mean spirit decided to take it.
So, who are you?
Ah, right. I'm so sorry. I should have introduced myself, shouldn't I? I'm Mime. Well, I'm a spirit, I believe you would say. A friendly one, though. Don't worry.
That guy. His appearance changed all of a sudden. The horns, the red eyes. He looked like some kind of monster.
My guess is that some mean spirit latched onto his anger and possessed him. The spirit must have been quite powerful, too. Spark a physical transformation like that? I wonder what it was doing here.
So, Mime, did you kill him? 'Cause he's gone.
Anyway, the best course of action would be to stay far away from that guy, but I guess you already figured that out the hard way.
So, thank you for saving me, but why are you still here? Aren't you afraid more people like that guy will show up?
Well, you see, I might be kinda, sorta bound here to you.
What?
I didn't mean to, I'm sorry. But you were all dead and broken, and all the pieces didn't want to stick together, and then I panicked, and I may have somehow linked myself to your soul in order to bind it to your body.
Let Mime feel the consequence of her actions, practically learn from them. Calm Mime down by showing her consequence. I mean, she saved my life. I was literally dead, so...
You saved my life. The method might not have been ideal, but I really can't blame you for helping me.
I know. I should have done better, and I shouldn't have... Huh? You forgive me?
Oh my god, this girl is so, I don't know what gender, but the spirit is so accustomed to everybody just shitting on them.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you. Don't worry. We'll find some way to fix this. I'm sure of it.
If we work together, I'm sure you and I can find a way to fix this.
Thank you. You're right. We'll find a way to solve this.
Okay, I am gonna run a quick ad break, I think, because I need to grab an apple. So I shall BRB. I'm liking this so far, though. It seems like a pretty well done visual novel, which makes sense with the price tag. But yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, we should be back. I've got my apple so that I don't faint right in front of you. We'll find a way to solve this.
How to fix this? But I do know someone who might. I'll take you there. Though, she's going to be so mad at me.
You and Mime both pause and listen. While you were talking, the quiet night has erupted into a steady swell of voices. A sinister feeling makes the hairs on your neck stand on end, and Mime scurries closer to you, the small spirit having grown quite pale.
Something doesn't feel right. I think we should leave now.
She tugs you by the sleeve, and you follow her to the end of the alley, only to stop short at a sudden smell slithering down the streets. Smoke. Your eyes grow wide as you spot the flickering lights in the distance, a feeling of dread settling in your stomach.
The shop. Hey! Wait!
You know who Mime's voice reminds me a little bit of Ruby from Steven Universe, which I think that actress's name is Charlene, maybe? Reminds me a lot of her voice. I don't know if it's her. By the time you get there, a large group of people has gathered in front of the shop, and wicked tension is in the air.
Child eater! Get out of our town! Burn the witch!
The yelling feels unbearably loud. A young man picks up a rock and throws it through a window. The sound of shattering glass is drowned out by the cheers of the rising crowd. At a certain point, it's right to get angry. I can't believe these people. What do they think they're doing? It's actually not their fault. Not entirely, I mean. They've been caught up in a frenzy. Their fears are being amplified by very strong spirit magic. It's drawing them all towards something inside the shop. How can you tell? It's a spirit thing. I can sort of sense the essence of other spirits. Usually it doesn't really matter because there aren't really a lot of us around, but something is here. It has its sight set on something inside that store.
Really?
People don't look frightened to me.
Maybe, but...
We all fear something, but usually you can kind of tell whether you should act on it or if the fear is irrational. These people have had their fear stoked, and it's so great they've turned to rage. They've lost sight of themselves completely. Why are we not affected? I'm not feeling my bravest at the moment either, so why am I not tearing stuff up?
About that.
This type of spirit magic doesn't really affect me. Since you're bound to me now, I guess you're protected as well? Gotta do something. We really shouldn't get any closer. If they catch us here, there's no telling what they'll do.
We've gotta go.
I need to find my teacher, Elizabeth. She might still be in the shop. I can't just leave her. Really are very kind, aren't you? I kind of wish... Never mind. Okay, I'll take you. Let's keep our heads down. With Mime's guidance, you go around to the back of the building. There's no way to enter, but there is a closed window and a nicely sized rock. You break the window and carefully climb through broken glass. The shop is dark and smells faintly of burned rosemary.
Okay. Very sneaky. The sneaky duo, that's us.
I don't think it is her, it just kind of reminds me of her. A door bursts open.
Get out of my home, you child.
Got no time. Elizabeth, they are surrounding the building. We need to get out now. Whoa, whoa, easy, young one. Breathe. I've taken precautions. Don't you worry. We are safe in here.
But what about you? You were gone for so long. I was just about to leave and go looking for you when those hooligans started gathering out front.
Yeah, I kind of died.
What happened? And who is that?
I'll tell you what happened.
We sort of gotten ourselves into a bit of a magical hiccup. Mime here is about to take me to someone who could fix this, weren't you, Mime?
Right.
Oh yes, of course. I know exactly how to fix this.
By the seven. Have you bound yourself to the spirit? Oh, what were you thinking, child? Do you have any idea what you have done?
Couldn't just stand by and do nothing. I didn't mean for this to happen, but I would do it again to protect Mime.
Child, your kind heart is going to get you into trouble one day. Trouble that I will not be able to save you from.
Sorry to make you worry, we really gotta talk about the people outside. There's a crash and another window shatters.
I just don't understand what is happening. How odd.
The people are acting completely mad, like something's driving them insane.
About that.
That's exactly what's happening. I'm not sure what, but I can sense something here in the shop. Some kind of powerful magic is drawing them here.
Powerful magic? But that's impossible. This is an alchemy shop. The only vaguely magical item in here is the alchemy table.
Something flashes in Elizabeth's eyes and you all turn to the table standing in the corner.
Can't be.
The light suddenly dims and you whip around to stare at the shop window. The crowd is going louder, their valid chants and jeers melting together into a booming ichor of hate. A dark shadow is spreading from the frame of the window, blocking out the light from the torches outside. The star indicates a choice where you call upon others for assistance. Mime, what is that? Stay in the back, look dangerous? Yeah, that's just gross.
What the? Well...
Not sure, it looks like a spirit of some sort, but...
It's a demon, this thing. It reeks of dark magic. It's trying to breach the barrier I put around the shop.
The darkness now completely covers the glass, which creaks and twists under the strain, then cracks. I think we should run! The window shatters. Heat washes over you, and you shield your face as every single piece of glass in the shop is blown out. The pressure forces you back, stumbling, and for a moment all you see is red. Urgh! Pick yourself up from the floor. Someone is screaming in the distance, and there is a strong smell of burning wood. The shop, it's been completely destroyed. From the rubble, a tall, dark shape rises up to tower over you. Pathetic. The humans demand fire, but flee when their wish is granted. Glowing eyes zero in on you, a tall, lanky shape standing in the middle of the destroyed shop. What is this? A little shop assistant? I wonder, will you flee as well? What lies within your heart? Fear? Anger? The glow of those soulless eyes intensifies, and you feel cold all over as its gaze pierces through you. How disappointing! People like you are the worst. Keeping your head bowed every day, taking the scorn of the common people like you somehow deserve it. I can see it all. See how the people of this town, these pathetic, weak mortals, are mocking you while you do nothing. Why should their imbecilic fear weigh down on you? You are their superior. Your talent should leave them begging at your feet, so why? What drives you down this path? I believe in the good in humanity. I won't stoop to their level. I don't need your help to get what I want.
Sure, things have to change, and there are many who deserve justice. But acting with violence will make me no better than them. There has to be another way.
The creature begins to glow a soft green color. It lets out a frustrated scream and charges at you.
Look out!
Go back to the hell you came from, demon!
The demon stumbles, struck from behind. It keels over, clinging to its side where its shape is cracking like broken shards of glass. You see broad shoulders. A woman steps in front of you, shielding you from the demon. A sword gleams in her hands as she boldly faces off against this monster.
Are you all right?
Romance? I feel like now is a really weird time to flirt, though.
I'm okay.
Victoria! I'm so glad to see.
Quiet, Mime. You and I are going to have a talk as soon as this is over.
The demon screeches and rights itself, the bleeding gash on its side glowing like hot metal. You fool, you will pay for this. It rushes forward, but Victoria is far too quick. She swiftly strikes it down, spraying shards of darkness from the fresh wound. Ah! The glow is steadily growing stronger. You begin to feel drawn towards that light as if it is calling out to you.
I'm feeling kinda weird.
Look, the table.
The alchemy table is glowing the same shade as the demon. It pulses and breathes like a living thing, lifting itself off the floor. Shifting and shaping into a new form, it suddenly flies right at you. You reach out to catch. Match the pattern to banish the demon. Light bursts from your hand. It shoots outward in a beam, striking the nightmarish creature square in the chest. Ah! The demon writhes and shakes, the light bursting it open from within, and then it crumbles, turning to ash with a quiet sigh. There's only stillness. In your hand is what remains of the alchemy table, a pendant of sorts. The familiar cogs and wheels still make up the main body, but 5 small runes are now carved into the upper ring. One of them glows faintly with strange sort of magic. You're feeling woozy, like your legs are about to give up from under you. Is everyone alright? No one's hurt? I think I'm okay, but the world feels a tiny bit shaky. Cold steel presses against your throat. The woman Victoria is glaring at you. What did you do?
So...
Not to get ahead of ourselves with swords, okay? I don't know what happened. The alchemy table's never done anything like that before. Victoria glares at you with suspicion, but slowly lowers her sword. A little.
I can't believe this.
Mime, would you be so kind as to tell me what is going on here? Victoria's words drip with tension. Mime looks very, very small when she steps out from behind you. Well, you see, I'm not entirely sure myself. It felt like I had a connection with that thing for a moment.
So that's how it is.
Spirit locket. Elizabeth is staring at the glowing amulet in your hands with a barely masked sadness that puts you on edge. It must have reacted to the presence of the demon. It appears that it absorbed the power of that fiendish creature, sealing it away for good. Well, that's totally the end of it, right? So the day is saved. Everything's peachy. I bet nothing else can go wrong now, right? Victoria glares at you darkly. She does not appear to be the joking type. Use of illegal magic and binding yourself to a spirit, you are coming with me to Erodus to stand trial for what you've done. On whose orders? Elizabeth moves to stand between you and Victoria protectively. First Commander Althea. Victoria twists her collar to reveal the insignia of the third paragon. You feel the dread run down your spine like ice. Of all the people to be discovered by, it just had to be a knight. But I stopped the demon. I just saved us from that thing, and now you're going to arrest me? Spare me your outrage. Whatever your motivation, it does not change the fact that you've broken the law. Cannot let you walk free while you pose such an obvious risk.
Hear me out.
But Victoria, don't you see? This might be a good thing. What? We sealed the spirit away, didn't we? In fact, it's really lucky we were here. I bet the shop would have burned down completely if you and Letters hadn't been here to save it. Be that as may, it doesn't excuse the illegal use of chaotic magic, so... Victoria is interrupted by a strange buzzing sound coming from her jacket, she and Mime visibly pale. Of all the times.
Just don't take it. Pretend we're not here.
Victoria glares and pulls out a small glowing orb that is pulsating insistently with light. She closes her eyes and breathes in deep as if saying a quiet prayer. There's a flash of light and an image appears.
Victoria, what's going on? You didn't call in for your last report.
The image of a woman in uniform appears in a glowing light and you blink in surprise. You have heard about the crystal communicators the government uses to transmit conversations, but you've never seen one in person before. Victoria straightens up in her presence, all emotions hidden by a professional tone.
Apologies, Commander. I'm afraid that the situation has become more complicated.
Aletharos mercy. Don't tell me you lost the spirit.
No, Mime is still with me, but the incident appears to have spread. A demon appeared in town tonight. I suspect there are more out there.
The number of casualties?
None, for now. However...
I mean, technically, the alchemist was dead for a while earlier, but, you know,
We managed to dispose of the threat for now, but I fear this could still escalate.
I know you want to ask, Victoria, but we cannot dispatch any more knights to the area. For now, you will return to Erodus with the spirit. We will regroup from here and determine the proper course of action.
I understand.
You're leaving? But what about the townsfolk? What are we gonna do if more demons show up?
Victoria, who is this?
Another complication.
actually, the alchemist here might just be the solution to your problem.
No. It's all right, Victoria. Let us hear what the spirit wishes to share.
Thank you, ma'am. You see, we got into a little accident earlier. I won't bore you with the details, but the good news is that the two of us together are really good at sealing away those big old meanie spirits you're so worried about.
Is that so?
The woman turns to you.
What is your involvement in all of this?
My home just got destroyed by one of these demons.
Ah, an unlucky bystander then. And this magic you use to get rid of the demons. Unlawful, I assume.
Very.
But no one got hurt. We just sealed away the one who was wreaking havoc in the shop here. I'm confident that if we just stay in town and investigate, then we'll find a solution to the problems you're having in no time.
A lovely proposition, but tell me this, Spirit.
But tell me this, Spirit. If I allow you to roam free, how can I trust that you won't just run away again?
Because I'm so nice?
I cannot trust you. There is more at stake.
As I am literally bound to her.
It is a risk
She
I
can't.
will not take.
I'll vouch for the child, Commander.
Elizabeth steps forward, having been strangely silent until now. Althea looks startled.
Elizabeth, it has been so long.
Lesbian subtext?
I feel fate is playing some cruel trick on us, adding you to this unholy mix.
Victoria and Mime both look completely flabbergasted by the familiar tone used by the two women. You must admit you were also curious to know how your teacher came to know one of the Empire's commanders so closely.
Perhaps. The young one is my apprentice. I can vouch for the contents of her heart, and, if you will let me, take full responsibility for what we both know must be done.
It is not fair for me or anyone to force upon you such a burden. You have already done enough.
Possibly just old friends, but...
And I shall do this as well. Unless you wish to stop me.
Oh. I know better than to challenge you. Very well, Victoria. Your new mission will be to stay in town, guarding these two, as you track down any remaining demons and neutralize them. You will do what you must in order to keep a low profile. This mission cannot fail, and the truth cannot be revealed to the public.
All right, we're doing some black ops with some illegal magic.
I understood.
It makes Victoria quite uncomfortable.
You want me to do what? I'm not a knight. I'm just an alchemist. Not even that, I'm just an apprentice. How can I possibly be of any help?
I agree. It is an unconventional situation. Normally, I would never agree to anything like this. But the situation is dire. And whatever you may think of your abilities, this first victory is proof of something else. I need you to rise to the challenge. Can you do that?
Huh. I don't want this. Just end the game right there.
These
No,
creatures
I want to
are
help.
obviously dangerous. If there's any way I can help stop them, so no more people will get hurt, then I'll do my best.
You have a good heart. I wish you luck.
The image disappears, and a tense silence falls over the group.
That went well. Right?
No one answers. And alright, that was the prologue. We are 1 hour into the game, and we just reached the first chapter. I don't know how many chapters there are, but apparently that was all prologue. So we can give some thoughts about the game, because we are at the 1 hour mark. I think this game has a higher production value than a lot of the other games that I've seen. It just feels a lot more professional. Even more professional, like, I feel like the writing is actually, like, written by a writer. Whereas a lot of the times, I mean, in like free visual novels and stuff, you'll see typos and things of that nature. Even in Arcade Spirits, there are some interesting writing choices. I don't know if you all remember Arcade Spirits. I played that one a little while ago. That one was the one where you work in a arcade and like meet people, and it's 20XX or whatever. That one has a lot of colloquialisms and stuff that are a little bit weird, but I feel like it's probably the best comparison in terms of like the level of care put into it. Like, has strong art, has decent writing, and something that this game has that Arcade Spirits doesn't really seem to have is it has those little alchemy puzzle mini games, which are not hard in any way, shape, or form, but maybe they'll get harder. After all, that was only the prologue. And something else that they share is that they have the intention, like the emotion or whatever, behind the choice so that you know what you're actually saying. It gives you the tone, so that helps for you to convey what you want to convey. And yeah, I've been really enjoying Arcade Spirits. I've actually played it some offline as well. I think I may do the same with this game. But for now, I think we are going to continue to press onward. And that's how you became the unlikely defender of Anemone Valley. Waking up the next morning feels like a dream. If it wasn't for the happy grin of the spirit who greets you, you would have dismissed it as such.
Morning. Glad to see you're awake.
It must be nice getting rest from sleep instead of fainting all the time, right? So Victoria sent me. She's really eager to get started on this big ol' mission thing, so she wants to meet you outside, like, now. She's already in a bad mood, though, so I don't think hurrying would make her less angry. Anyway, how are you feeling? Like I got stabbed. I'm okay. 5 more minutes.
Well...
Like I got stabbed, then blown up before fighting with a demon, so not too shabby. Yeah, that. Yesterday was kind of crazy, wasn't it? Well, I'm sure the worst is behind us now, and I mean, it could have been worse. At least we're not being dragged off to the capital right now, right? Why are you so afraid of the capital?
Huh?
Spirits are not supposed to go to human cities. My mere existence is some kind of crime to them. I don't want to know what they're gonna do to me.
I wonder about that.
Finding these demons and sealing them away is our first priority. We can't have more people getting hurt. And hopefully, while we are looking for a way to stop them, we'll learn more about this spirit locket of yours. If it can seal demons away, then maybe there's a way it can unseal me from your heart as well. We're all gonna die. I think that's a great plan.
Thank you.
Let's do our best. We should go. She said at once, so probably like yesterday, honestly. We should get going. You walk into the shop. Now that everything is illuminated by daylight, you can truly see the extent of the destruction left by the demon the night before. Every surface is covered in glass or spilled potions. Shelves are scattered. Okay, that was weird. She greets you with a tired smile, and you wonder if she even managed to sleep at all.
It is quite the change.
I think I'm going to stop using the space bar. It seems to be double tapping sometimes. It's quite the challenge. It's quite the change suddenly having people living with us like this.
Sleepy old town really did wake up to quite an adventure, didn't it?
So sorry, Elizabeth, your shop. There's nothing left. These are all just things, dear. We can rebuild. I have tried to shield you from such pain, but I see now that if you are to prevail in the challenges ahead, I cannot keep hiding things from you. I know you have a lot of questions. If you want, I shall do my best to explain what I can.
Tell me about...
My life did not begin and end in this shop, you know. Althea and I knew each other well a long time ago. Back then I would have called her my companion, but now... Lesbian text! Our journeys took us down different paths. She is now the right hand to the highest office in the land. You got some history together, hmm? What? Too difficult to imagine your dusty old teacher being young and in live? Aw. He's cute! Kinda cute to imagine, actually. Cute. You really are such an odd child, you know that? But no matter, if you find the topic so fascinating, perhaps I'll tell you the story after we get this place cleaned up. Do you have any idea how to get separated from a spirit? I know a few, but none of them would leave the both of you, how to put it, alive afterward. Gulp. Exorcism is the craft of demon hunters, and they don't particularly care about the well-being of those affected as long as it eliminates the threat. You can ask Victoria for details. The way she attacked that demon yesterday, it's clear she has had the training, but why a former demon hunter would now work for the Knight Commander of Eridus, I'm not quite sure. You called it a spirit locket? What does that mean? It was an invention that pioneered the modern school of alchemy, a new type of alchemy that was usable by non-mages. It works in much the same way as the alchemy tables we use today, but while we now use the power crystals to fuel our spells, a spirit locket runs on the life force of spirits. That sounds dangerous.
Yes.
It is. Spirit magic is chaotic, unpredictable, but was the necessity of the times. Alchemists had yet discovered the use of crystals as a power source for the spells, and so spirits were used. It is a powerful artifact, one which is now bound to you, just like mime. So, did I hurt you, Mime? Did you get hurt during the battle? I feel fine. Might be different since, you know, I'm not bound to your locket thing, but to you? It's also confusing though, Arg. Wish we could learn more. Sorry I can't be of more help. I'm skilled in alchemy, but the engineering that goes into crafting a locket like this is something else entirely. It's possible there are mages out there who know a lot more about alchemy lockets and spirits, but locating them will be tricky. You could try and ask Quinn for help. They went to the mage school academy, so they might know more. Oh, Quinn is non-binary. How'd the locket get here? Doesn't seem like something authorized by the Empire. It's been in my possession for a while. It was gifted me by a dear friend, and I've kept it safe here ever since. I didn't expect something like this, but that doesn't matter. We can talk about that story some other time. You have more important things to worry about now. How's the shop? Everything's so broken, I don't even know where to start. We clean, we salvage, we restore. I already sent a message to Quinn about restoring our herbal stock. Knowing them, they've already gotten new supplies for us. I just need you to pick it up whenever you can. I do wear back at the alchemy table, though. Can't make potions without it, and getting a new one from Mage College can take a while. Then comes the paperwork for gaining a new power crystal. You would think it'd be easy to obtain one with us basically living on top of the mines, but the last time we needed a change, it took several months. No doubt Golden or that old Weasel had something to do with that. Reopening the shop might take a while. Yay, paperwork. We can use the locket for now. I guess that would be possible, but I wouldn't want to put such a quest on you now when you're tied up in your other obligations. Restocking the shop will take time. I would need to teach you many more recipes than what you know now. Just till you get a new table. Bold of you to assume the Mage College will deliver before this quest of yours is over, but I see your point, child. Let's make a deal, as long as it doesn't interfere with this other thing you have to do. I'll teach you recipes, we can work together to rebuild. Just visit me here in the shop whenever you have the time, and then we'll get started.
I'll be off then.
Victoria is waiting for me to go on this whole quest thingy. I understand. I'll be here in case you have any other questions. Victoria is standing outside the shop, arms crossed and eyes glaring at anyone who dares to pass her by.
Morning.
Ready to do some investigate. What part of keeping a low profile do you insist on not getting? Oh right, sorry. Victoria sighs heavily. You remembered to cast your spell? Of course. No human will notice me at all. Unless they are like a demon hunter, or possessed by a spirit like that guy yesterday. A mage would probably also see me, so yeah, basically invisible. So, what are we doing?
While you two were snoozing the day away, I've been digging around for some information. Look.
There are multiple accounts of people having seen the shop burn last night, but who have no recollection of the mob and the dark magic. The general consensus is that it was an accident. I see no reason to correct this assumption, it would just create unnecessary panic. The shop itself is clean. No trace of anything magical. If the place wasn't trashed, I wouldn't be able to tell anything had happened. Doesn't leave us with much to go on, really.
I wonder.
Well, we could always go check out the forest. We spirits really like nature, so maybe the demons are angry someone went and destroyed their home? We already searched that place for clues and found nothing. I think our time would be more wisely spent exploring somewhere new. The mines under this town are suspicious to me. I do not believe it is a coincidence that these events are occurring right on top of a large seam of magical crystals.
Are you sure?
Do we really have to go underground, though? It's creepy.
I wonder.
About that.
Not certain of anything at this point. That would be foolish. However, the crystals mined down there are powerful conductors of magic, so it's worth taking a look.
Maybe, but...
Underground caves are so creepy, though.
Actually...
It might be creepy, but it does sound like something worth investigating more.
Come on.
No, you're right, but still.
Enough of this.
Victoria gives Mime a pointed look, and the spirit's mouth zips shut instantly. Then those hard eyes turn to you.
Can't believe this.
Look, Alchemist. Althea might have put her trust in you, but I am not so easily convinced. So it would much appreciate it if you kept your opinions to yourself.
About that...
I'm stuck with you anyway. It's not like there's anything I can do to make the situation worse. So maybe we should just try and work together to figure out this mess? She does have a point. Victoria does not look amused, but she clicks her tongue and sighs.
Fine.
Fine.
Let's go.
Let's go to work.
Mime, you're staying close to me. I won't have you running away from me again.
What? Me? Run away? I would never.
Just stay where I can see you.
Understood.
Let's go to the mines. The mines are starkly cold compared to the warmth of the sunny day outside. It is quiet. Victoria is taking great care to keep you out of sight of any stray workers. This place really gives me
the creeps.
I keep thinking they're not going to be voiced, and then they are. It's like everywhere I look, there's a shadow ready to reach out and grab us. Don't be ridiculous, Mime. The only thing that's out to grab you down here is your own imagination. I mean, to be fair, my imagination can be quite insistent. Ah! A sudden scream rings out in quiet mind, echoing eerily along the walls. Victoria shoots forward before anyone else has time to react. Wait, Victoria, we really shouldn't get separated down here. And she's gone. What should we do, Letters?
I'll do it.
Sounds like someone's in trouble. We should help.
Whoa!
Wait, Letters? How did I end up with two people with a hero complex? The stones beneath your feet are brittle and unsteady, and you almost fall, skidding around a sharp turn. The passage has opened up into a large cave. In the middle stands a woman, her hands outstretched and glowing with bright golden light.
Get out of my way, demon. You're ruining my experiment.
A demon stands tall, towering over the woman. You are making a grave mistake. Think of how powerful we could be. Two beings of magic, working together. You could have everything you've ever dreamed of, even...
Not interested.
You watch the scene unfold. The woman pushes her hands forward and a blast of light slams into the demon, who shrieks in rage. I've handled kitchen goblins with more bite than you. Return now to where you came from. The demon is fading, wounded. The locket around your neck begins to glow.
Let's go.
Letters, I think it might be time. Let's seal this spirit away before it escapes. Whoops. Yeah, these puzzles are not hard. Arg! The demon roars as it dissolves and is sucked into the glowing locket. The mines fall silent again.
Everyone all right?
We're fine, Letters. Can't say I'll ever get used to that weird magic, though.
Fascinating. Just how did you do that?
You all jump as the stranger is suddenly in your face. Her gloved hands grab yours without any consideration to her personal space to get a closer look at the locket that is still glowing faintly.
Is this some kind of portable alchemy table? It was alchemy you were using, right? What kind of magic was used to forge this? It cannot be powered by a crystal. The mass of the device would not be able to hold such power. But then, what?
Aha! So when you click romance, it then gives you other options. So basically, romance is like, hey, I'm interested in pursuing this person, and then it'll give you different options. You know, usually to get this close to me, you'd have to invite me out for a date or something. Woman blinks and looks up at you for the first time since her rant began. Then she flushes red with embarrassment, looking like she just realized you were there. Oh, sorry. Sometimes I get a bit carried away. She releases you and takes a step back. My apologies, I haven't even introduced myself.
My name is Anne Sophia Bernadette Hoffland, a scholar under the Seven Winds Academy.
Oh, great. A mage academic.
The jock thing. Nerd! Anne seems to completely ignore the comments, her attention solely focused on you, or at least the locket.
I am writing my thesis on alternative power sources for magic-infused artifacts, and you simply must let me take a look at this device. I have never seen anything like it. If I could uncover the mysteries behind it, I'd be the envy of the entire academy.
Huh? Mages worked in shops and such.
About that.
Most do, but there are a few who choose to pursue a career at the academy itself as researchers. In order to get such a position, however, you need to write a thesis, an extensive research report with the knowledge you have gained while traveling. Most candidates fail. Huh? Going for a doctorate. Fail? So... Either they fail to find new knowledge, or they die trying.
Yikes!
Okay, not cool.
Actually...
You're not wrong. But I will be successful, don't doubt that.
About that...
Did you know?
The crystals mined in this area are one of the most common resources for powering magical artifacts. I felt like it was only right to start my research looking into the current practices, but I did not expect to find such an interesting research subject wandering around down here. It must have been the blessing of Izith that made you show up when you did.
That sounds nice.
Well, sounds very exciting. I would love to help, though I probably need to know a few more details. You and me both. For starters, what was your name again?
Hello.
I'm Letters. Nice to meet you, Anne.
The pleasure is all mine.
Really?
You're from the Mage Academy. Yes, graduated just last month, but I already miss it. No need to worry, though. If everything goes according to plan, I will have my thesis done and ready for publication within this season, and I'll be back before the summer ends.
We actually really need to know more about this locket. You see, the power source is... well, that would be me.
There's a pregnant pause while Anne blinks at Mime, for the first time noticing the short spirit girl standing partially hidden behind you, and then all color appears to leave her face.
A spirit? But that's taboo. Against the teachings of the Holy Seven. How did you even... Oh, wait! I get it! This must be some kind of government-licensed project, right? That's why you have a demon hunter with you.
Government licensed. Sure. Let's call it that.
No, I am not getting tangled up in something like this. Do you know what happens to mages who get involved with sketchy things like this?
I know it's not ideal, and I understand why you would be suspicious, but maybe we could make it worth your while? We're both searching for something, and our goals appear to be the same. So, what if we make a deal?
A deal, you say? I'm not going to lie. I'm curious about that locket of yours. It's certainly a lot more interesting than what I've found down here so far. Leaving town in search of a new mine would also put me way behind schedule. I really don't have time for this.
For what it's worth, we are currently working on the orders of the Knight Commander of Eridus. The nature of our mission, however, demands a level of discretion.
By discretion, you mean they approve as long as you don't fail? But I suppose being chosen by the Knight Commander herself does give you some credibility. If I help you with this demon problem of yours, you promise that you will help me with my research? I will need to study that locket of yours thoroughly.
Your choice will affect Anne's path going forward. People's lives are at stake. I need her to realize her personal goals have to come second. We can make this work in a way that is beneficial for both of us. I don't see why I can't fulfill the promise, so...
If you help us, I promise I'll do anything I can to help with your thesis.
Anything? Very well, Alchemist. I'll bite. You have my expertise, and in return, we'll see what I come up with. I'm sure my grand experiment will be absolutely ingenious.
That sounds fun. This is going to be fun, right?
I've never had the chance to talk to a spirit before. At the Academy, they are confined, for safety reasons.
Safety? What? So the students can't hurt them?
Oh, no, actually, quite the opposite. The spirits at the Academy are a lot less friendly than you.
Maybe because they're confined.
Well, I suppose if I was kept cooped up all day in school, I'd be pretty grumpy too.
That's a fair point.
You! What in the world happened?
Your shop burned down, and I just got this message from Elizabeth asking for supplies, and oh, Anne, you're back already? Quinn looks about ready to bombard you with questions until her eyes catch sight of Anne stepping through the door behind you. What are you doing here? I thought you were going to hole up in the mines to write your thesis. That was the plan, but as luck would have it, I found something much more interesting to write about than magic crystals. You two already know each other? Oh, I guess I never mentioned it. Quinn and I studied together at the Academy. I knew they had opened up a shop out here, so when I decided I wanted to look into the mines, well... I'm only happy to help, dear Anne. It's quite refreshing to see you out and about like this. But you must help me understand how you all came to know each other. It's the most unusual group that has entered my store. Quinn turns to you. Just what happened, Letters? I heard the alchemy shop was burned down, and now Elizabeth is requesting more supplies?
You see,
I'm afraid it's true. The shop was attacked. Elizabeth and I are both fine, but, well, Quinn listens in silence as you recount last night's events. And now we have to somehow find a solution to all this as soon as possible. You make it to the end with a heavy sigh. Quinn wordlessly gets up and walks over to give you a hug.
Oh, dear.
I'm so sorry, Letters. That must have been awful. They release you and smile gently.
I consider you a good friend, and I want to help you. No, I am going to help you, as much as I can. But this whole affair puts me at risk. We have to be very careful.
The door to the flower shop suddenly bursts open, causing everyone to freeze in surprise. A tall, intimidating man steps inside, his cold eyes lazily taking in Quinn's little shop.
Mr. Goldner, what can I do for you today?
Quinn looks nervously at the man as he glides around the shop, looking at the beautiful plants with disinterest. You feel Mime move to hide behind your legs despite her invisibility.
I was simply in the area and thought I might drop by. As you have probably already heard, the alchemy shop suffered a most unfortunate fire last night. I just wanted to be sure that our only other magic shop was still doing well.
So, this guy has classic villain vibes. Got the aristocratic garb. Got a sinister accent, thin-sounding voice.
That is very kind of you, sir. As you can
A
see,
goatee.
nothing out of the ordinary has happened here.
The man chuckles darkly.
Do forgive me for having my doubts about that. Just know this.
Steps awfully close to Quinn, staring him down with thinly veiled disgust.
The people of this town might have tolerated you this past year, but I will continue to watch you closely.
Step up and force yourself between the man and Quinn.
I think it's about time you leave, sir.
Man looks shocked for a moment, but his eyes harden into a glare.
I see the batty old alchemist has forgotten to teach her little apprentice any manners. Do you know who I am?
That shouldn't really matter, given the discussion we're having. You have made your point, and since it's obvious you're not going to be buying anything, it seems like a good time for you to go.
The man sneers at you, but straightens his back and flicks invisible dust off his coat.
Fine. I have more important matters to attend to anyway, but I won't forget this.
Goldner will remember this. Once the man is gone, the room breathes a collective sigh of relief.
That guy was scary.
Messer Goldner is the owner of the mine. Despite the fact that the very ore that created his wealth is magical, he has a dangerously low opinion of mages and is quite vocal about it. Luckily, most people in town do not hold his word in high regard. He's somewhat of a joke, albeit an intimidating one.
Intimidating sounds about right.
People like him are the reason I'd prefer to live at the Academy.
As far as I've heard, he started his life as a common farmer. When the mine was discovered beneath his land, he suddenly gained quite a bit of wealth. Almost overnight, that money went straight to his head, if you ask me. So now he wants people to treat him like a nobleman. The townsfolk did not take kindly to that. And while he still makes good money on the mine, most people simply avoid him. To someone like me, however, he is very much a threat. And he knows it. Hence these little visits. But that's enough doom and gloom for one day. Please, tell me how I can help.
Quinn looks shaken, but eager to change the subject.
I wonder...
Spirit lockets? Not much, I'm afraid. Magic is a huge field of study, and I special in, well, plants, not spirits. Tinker mages like Anne are much more well-versed in these types of trinkets. She was always an excellent student, so she'll be a greater help to you about this than I will. I'll do my very best, for a price, of course.
So...
What do you need?
Gwen hands you 2 bundles of lavender, some other herbs. That's it.
Take care. Oh, and Anne,
Yes?
do drop by from time to time while you're here, won't you? I miss our game nights.
Game nights!
Okay. I'll see if I can find some time.
Perfect. I'll see you around.
You walk out of the shop and continue on your way. About 10 minutes of walking, Victoria taps you on the shoulder.
It would appear that we're being followed.
Keep your eyes straight ahead.
Oh,
What's the plan?
Let's go.
You follow Victoria down a side street. No one else is around, so you stand there and wait for a moment, and another. And then a familiar, timid face peeks around the corner, big red eyes widening in fright when he realizes he's been caught. It's the little kid.
Hello.
I know you. You came by our shop the other day. Boy looks a bit embarrassed about having been caught, but he waves at you shyly.
Hi. Sorry. I didn't mean to...
What's your name, kid?
Victoria's voice is surprisingly gentle, and the young boy flushes bright red, bowing his head.
I'm Kim, ma'am.
So...
Something matter? Why'd you follow us here? Kim's face falls. He looks down the street, wringing his hands nervously.
I'm looking for my brother. Do you remember him? We came into your shop yesterday to buy a remedy. He didn't come home.
Oh, the guy that stabbed me?
So I was wondering if maybe you had seen him.
I think Mime ate him. Tell the child the truth, even though it may be hard to hear. Tell the child you haven't seen his brother. He probably won't bother you again. No, I'm gonna tell him the truth.
I'll tell you what happened.
Your brother attacked me last night. He appeared to be possessed by some kind of evil spirit, almost looked like a demon himself. I haven't seen him since then. That's awful. But there's nothing like that at all. He's always taken really good care of me, protecting me. But ever since he got that new job... What new job?
Well...
I'm not sure. He just said he was running errands for some guy. The pay was great and not nearly as dangerous as working the mines.
What do you mean?
He wouldn't say.
Honestly, I was afraid he was getting into something shady, but anything's better than working in the mines, so I didn't complain about it.
Yeah. It
was
was
real-
real tough on him.
The boss there is super mean. The workers get hurt all the time. My brother was in an accident once, too. One of the tunnels collapsed, and he got trapped under a big pile of rocks. After that, his head used to hurt all the time, but the alchemist had a really good potion that helps him with the pain.
Actually...
We can help you figure out what happened to your brother. It sounds like he might have gotten tangled up in some of the stuff we're investigating.
Help? Thank you so much.
So I'll do my best to help you as well. I'll start by seeing if anything my brother left behind can tell me who he worked for. Just be careful. It's not safe for a child to play detective. Stay out of harm's way.
I'll be careful.
He runs off.
Not bad.
I'm surprised. You handled that situation well. Finding this kid's brother will be instrumental in uncovering the truth. Yeah! And also, you know, keeping him from killing other people will be a bonus, right? Right. What's this? A compliment from you? Will the sky fall down next? I take it back. You're still a bumbling idiot. Come on, we still have work to do. Hey, go team! Woo! Since I've decided I'm not romancing Victoria, I'm just going to be sarcastic with her as much as possible because she needs to be chiller.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Do you need something? The ingredients.
So...
Won't refill our stock, but should be enough to get us started. These will do nicely. Ready to give the alchemy locket a... Let's do it! Possible outcomes. Oh, maybe I need a third ingredient? I made a healing potion! By completing your alchemy book, you will impress Elizabeth. She might be willing to share more about her past. Okay.
Whoa, look at that!
Made the strong headache remedy. Made a potion, use 2 ingredients or less. Use 3 turns or less. Use 2 turns and 2 ingredients or less. Okay.
Another discovery!
Mosquito repellent. Okay, so one more. Oops. Or 2 more. Maybe it's telling me which ones are possible.
Whoa, look at that!
Regular headache remedy.
Another discovery!
The sleeping draught.
Whoa, look at that!
Strong mosquito repellent. I guess I have an infinite amount of these. Okay, here's one more thing I have not yet done.
Another discovery!
A very strong sleeping potion. It's hard to tell when the user will wake up, if ever. Jeez. I might have made everything I can make.
Whoa, look at that!
Getting quite good.
Dear.
Should be enough to keep us going for a while.
Happy to help.
Happy to help!
About that.
Since we're taking a break, been wondering, Elizabeth, about this locket. How did it come to be here in your shop?
I have some questions.
Obviously isn't a normal alchemy table. Always so perceptive. I guess I owe you an explanation. You are correct. Our old alchemy table wasn't just any table. It was always a spirit locket, one which I had altered to resemble a normal table so I could hide it here within our shop. Breaking the law, were we? Elizabeth, I didn't realize you had it in you. Breaking the law like that. Save your jives letters. I obtained the locket legally. In fact, the locket you now hold was mine to use, when I once worked under as an alchemist under the Paragon of Eridus. You used to work for the Empire? Many years ago, yes. I come from a long line of alchemists, and like you, was a promising talent, so when the Empire was in dire need of people with our skills, I volunteered. I worked for many years together with the Knights of Eridus.
I wonder.
Is that where you met Althea? That's right. She and I were once assigned the same mission, and well, the rest is history. What kind of mission needs both an alchemist and a knight? That's probably a story for another time. The work was not nearly as glamorous as the Empire would make out to be. In the end, I couldn't bring myself to say, so I left, taking the locket with me. I haven't seen Althea since.
I'm sorry.
That must have been a hard choice to make.
I see.
Life sometimes takes us places we can't control. I do not regret my decision, no matter how tough it might have been to let go of that life. Of Althea.
How curious.
This last encounter was the first time I had seen her in years. There's no reason to rip up on old wounds, so I've been keeping it a secret. But now I think we're all tired. We can talk more about this some other time. Elizabeth looks a bit shaken as she gets up and leaves. Poor Elizabeth. Sounds like she's been hurting through a lot. I wonder if she still loves her. Althea, I mean.
Well...
Doesn't matter. Past is the past, and we cannot change that. Guess you're right. Still, I feel bad for her. Anyway, that's enough of this. We should get back to work. Finally go to the woods. The ivy woods are silent. Everything is still among the blackened trunks of dead trees, as if the wildlife has also heeded the warnings to stay away.
Okay.
Let's go look for clues. Brr, 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 brr. Victoria sighs. Do you even know what you two are looking for? A clue is not just going to present itself as some package with a glowing sign on top of it. Not to mention, as I've already told you, there is nothing here. The place is barren and empty as it was last time we checked mine. We won't find any answers here. I guess you're right. I just really hoped coming back here would... Wait, did you hear that?
I can't believe this.
Mime, I swear I will... Shh, shut it. The group falls silent and listens carefully. After a while, you pick up the faint sound too. Sounds like a person singing? I'm starting to get that feeling again. You know, like back when the shop was burning? I think there might be something dark ahead. No way that's anyone from the town. Everyone's way too scared to go out here. Who could that possibly be? Victoria's eyes are hard as she stares toward the sound. Her hand is resting on her sword when she begins walking toward it. Stay close to me. You walk among the black trees, every step taking you all closer to the sound of singing. Stepping out into a small clearing, you find a large willow tree by a small lake. It is black and dead like the rest of the forest, but among its branches sits a small sparrow. The song is coming from the bird, but it is very much the voice of a human woman, singing enthusiastically. There are stories to be told, daring and bold, in the Merry Sparrow's Inn. Below the tree, resting against the black trunk, sits a man, looking quite pleased with listening to the sparrow's performance. His eyes flicker to you only for a moment, and a smile widens.
It seems more have joined your audience, little one. Why don't you give us an encore?
The bird seems to perfectly understand the man, and puffs up its little chest proudly before throwing into another verse. Come, traveler, with your weary heart, into the dark of the lantern forest. There lies an inn with open doors, where the light is burning the brightest. Let the warmth heal your frozen bones. May the ale in our tallest glasses pour. For the pain within your broken soul, we old travelers know just the cure. There is light to be found within. There are stories to be told, daring and bold, in the Merry Sparrow's Inn. The bird finishes its song and does a tiny bow, and the stranger claps, smiling brilliantly.
Bravo! Beautifully done.
That was lovely. Your friend is quite talented.
She is, isn't she?
The bird puffs up its chest and looks awfully pleased.
Also a bit of a prima donna, but you know, comes with the territory.
It's an abomination, that's what it is. Someone has cursed the bird with magic. Better put it out of its misery.
Now hold on there. There's no reason to act so rashly. The bird is not hurting anyone.
Devil says this has been more interesting than expected so far.
Its very existence is a breach of the law. Who's to say it doesn't carry other, more dangerous curses?
I feel like the world building is enough that it's interesting without us getting, like, bogged down by it. And I feel like the characters are decent as well.
If someone got hurt due to our inaction, would you be able to live with that?
You are overreacting. It's an enchanted bird, not some malignant spirit out to eat our souls. The world is not going to end if we let this one go.
The choice will impact your relationship with Victoria and the mysterious stranger. I agree with the
Keep going,
stranger.
Victoria. We can't just kill the poor thing on a mere suspicion. Not all magic has to be evil.
You.
Ah, a voice of reason. How refreshing.
The bird flies off.
And there she goes. No doubt off to add your hero's deed to her song.
Ah.
Sparrows are the patrons of hero stories, after all. And they do have a soft spot for heroic deeds. And tragedy. Perhaps that is why she came to sing in this place.
That sounds like something out of the old religion. Such talk is heresy, you know.
You're quite right. I shall ask forgiveness of the Paragons. If I ever meet one.
I wonder...
You may call me Michael. As for who I am, I always find that's a question best answered over a glass of wine. No?
Might take you up on that invitation sometime.
Oh, really?
I'm delighted to have such interesting company.
Tell me about...
What are you doing out here?
Interesting.
Searching for answers to a curiosity of mine. And did you find it? I did. Well, what was it? That's a secret. I'd be more afraid of losing my head if I were you. So scary. You're an odd one.
Oh, really?
A lone traveler on the road to the nearest tavern is not that rare, I would imagine. I'm actually a lot more curious about you.
A villager leading a mage, a demon hunter, and a spirit into a dead forest.
Oh! He can see the spirit!
Sounds like a legend. About to be told.
So Michael's probably a mage as well.
Or the start of a joke. Hard to tell.
You're right, we are kind of an odd bunch, and wait! You see me? Victoria's hand flies to her sword. Michael, however, only smiles lazily.
How curious.
Of course I see you. You're right here, are you not? But no one is supposed to see me, only...
What?
You're a mage? So perceptive. Gotta be careful around you. But yes, I happen to know a bit of magic. Mostly I'm just a simpler traveler, nothing fancy. There's a sudden rumble of the earth, a deep growl cutting through the air. I have a feeling that he's not a mage of, like, the mage school. He might be more of, like, a rebel or self-taught. What in Altheros' name was that? Letters, I think that sounds like... Something's coming! Stay behind me! The tall willow tree is shaking, the dark hole in the trunk retracting as if taking a deep breath. And a force of darkness bursts out toward your group. Victoria moves to parry, but the darkness knocks her away. Victoria! The shadow turns and heads straight toward you.
I think not.
A hand reaches around you and pulls you back. His hands are glowing with sinister purple light as he commands.
Return to your true form.
The force is frozen mid-air, suspended by a bright glow. It hangs still for a moment, much like the demon in the shop. Its form expands and bursts into the shape of another demon. Insolence! You dare try and stop me? I believe you are the one rudely interrupting a private moment. I suggest you get lost now. The purple glow is crackling like fire, swirling in his hands before shooting out a blast, striking the demon and sending it back reeling. You... Letters, you know what you have to do? Gotta seal this boy away. Oh, the demon roars as it is sucked into the locket, and then it grows silent, the glow of the artifact slowly fading. You slip out of Michael's grip and rush over to Victoria, who's pricking herself up with a groan. Victoria, are you okay? I'm fine. Only a wounded pride. But you... Victoria picks up her sword and points it at Michael. Who, me? Do not play dumb. I saw what you did there. You are a mage. Oh, he's just like Anne, then.
No.
He is nothing like me. To think we'd see a chaotic mage here, of all places. That is one very suspicious coincidence.
Chaotic? Really? You make it sound so... violent.
I see myself more as a naturalist magic user. But I should expect nothing less from a graduate of the Mage Academy.
Speak, mage. What are you doing here?
Enough.
It's no coincidence a wild mage appeared just before a demon showed up. Enough with the sword already. The demon might have been attracted to my magic, but I didn't come here to be murdered by that thing. Came because of the forest. You did? What do you know of it? The sparrows were singing about a great evil destroying the meadow. I came to see it for myself. Check if this might be some new corrupted type of nature magic.
Really?
And was it? Did you find out what caused this?
Interesting.
I have a couple of suspicions. The fact that a powerful demon like this showed up certainly makes everything a lot more interesting.
Tell me about...
You know a lot about this type of magic? Pick up a few things here and there, living on the road like I do.
What do you mean?
What do you guys mean by chaotic mage? It's a term used to describe any type of magic that is not authorized by the Empire. Which means in this little gathering, I'm actually the third individual who would fall under such a category. Talk about throwing stones. I guess he can tell about being bonded.
Huh?
Why are you doing this? Wouldn't it be much safer for you to stay away? Of course, but what would be the fun in that? Maybe we can help each other? Trying to figure out why these demons are showing up in town, among other things. You say they might be connected? Maybe we can help each other? That little trinket of yours certainly seems useful. However, I do enjoy my head as it is right now, and your demon hunter friend is sharpening her blade. As if I'd let you off that easily.
Actually...
Victoria, he could be of great use to us. Remember the mission. I know very well what our mission is, but you are right. As untrustworthy as he may be, he is a giant lead. What do you say? You lend us a hand and we'll keep Victoria off your back? A curious proposition. But you're also quite a curious person, are you not? The stranger steps closer to you and looks you over, a calculating look in his eyes that makes you feel like he is seeing right through you. He smiles. Perhaps you are not quite so ordinary? I'm completely normal. What's that supposed to mean? You got me. You're not quite so ordinary yourself, despite what you've said, so you can flirt with multiple people. Interesting. I'd love to learn more about you.
This'll be good.
Oh, I'm sure, I'm sure you and I will have our chance to get to know each other very well soon enough.
Very well. I will help you out. This looks like it might turn out to be quite amusing after all.
Wow. Thank you. Isn't this great, Victoria?
I'm keeping a close eye on you, mage.
I would be disappointed if you didn't.
Well, I, for one, am happy to get new friends.
I'm just like, everybody get along, please.
Welcome to the team, Michael.
Thank you, Mime. Now let's go hunt down some demons, shall we?
You're hiding something, mage.
I am a man of many secrets, dear Victoria. You'll have to be more specific.
The reason you're here. You claim you came here to investigate the forest, but that's ludicrous. Why would you willingly put yourself at risk like that? Just, what's in it for you?
It can't possibly be because I'm concerned and want to help.
Unlikely.
So cold. Just like you, I'm here to lend a hand, so we can avoid more incidents like the forest. And as things are now, I'd say you need all the help you can get.
Just know that I'm keeping an eye on you.
I know, and how I feel for those poor eyes. Between me and the alchemist, they must be rolling around your skull, trying to keep up.
Alright, so we are now 2 hours in, just about, and we have encountered 3 different romanceable characters. The knight, who is very much, serious and strong, and kind of gonna be, doesn't like us because we're against the rules. We came across a nerdy magical science girl who's trying to get her PhD. And we have a kind of rebellious bad boy mage who is sarcastic about everything. So, we're hitting some good tropes here. I believe there are still more. I wonder if there's, saving seems like a good idea. Okay. Apparently it has also been auto-saving, but it is time for me to run another ad break. If y'all are interested, I'll keep playing. I'm intrigued. We haven't even met all of the characters yet, because on the opener, I'm pretty sure there was at least one more guy. I think maybe there's 4 romanceable characters, but we shall see. So I'm gonna run an ad, get a snack, and BRB in about 5 minutes. I literally broke my nail when turning off a light switch. That's how crappy my nails are. I've considered getting... So I hate nail polish and nail polish remover. I don't like having stuff on my fingers. But I have been considering lately, maybe I should just bite the bullet and, have my nails painted all the time. Because maybe having that extra coating on there would serve as glue and they would be less likely to break. Because my nails break all the time. It's like I have a deficiency of some kind. It's really annoying. This one, it broke all the way to the quick, and I did not cut it all the way to the quick because I don't want to deal with that, but I cut it down somewhat. Anyway, I didn't get to eat my snack at all because of that. I guess I'll go where the exclamation point is. Oh. Never mind then.
What can I do for you? Let's see.
Got some curiosity you need stated?
Tell me about...
Someone's considered an outlaw. You're not that good at keeping a low profile, are you?
I find it's a balance you have to tread. Blend in too much, and people will think you are shifty. Be loud and colorful, and people will take notice. But if you're quiet and colorful, well, people will still notice. Honestly, but there's no fun in dressing like a fugitive. If my handsome clothes are what end up getting me killed, that's a fair trade for being fashionable. Is it not?
What a goofball.
So...
Don't worry, I'm not nearly as interesting as stories make us wild ones out to be. I'm a mage, but I didn't study at the proper school, and I'm therefore considered a dangerous individual.
That's awful.
Seems really unfair. Yet that is the world in which we live. Do not feel sad. I'm usually pretty good at staying out of trouble. Gotta make do with the cards you've been dealt, no?
I wonder...
Why didn't you go to the academy? I thought the government had people scout kids with the talent and bring them in. Wasn't like they didn't try. My past is not that interesting, to be honest, but it isn't exactly a cheery fairy tale either. One best not bring down the mood in such pleasant company. Maybe I'll share it with you some other time.
See you around.
All right. So, Anne, I take it you're from the Mage Academy.
That would be correct. And you are a wild mage, an unauthorized practitioner of magic.
Saying it like that makes it sound a lot more exciting than it is.
Don't you ever get tired? Being on the run, having to live your life in secret? It sounds exhausting.
What can I say? I just really don't like doing homework.
Town square is busy and buzzing with people eager to share stories and gossip with one another. However, one lone figure stands out, staying off to the side and staring at the crowd with apprehension.
Hi.
You okay? You look like you're trying to become one with the wall back there. If I knew a spell that would let me blend in with the building, now would be the best time to use it. Quinn insisted that I take a walk and get to know the town. I honestly don't see the point, as I will be leaving this place soon, but here I am anyway. Valley's actually a nice place. Right. I'll need more concrete evidence than that to be convinced. Was there something you wanted, by the way? I might as well keep you here while I pretend to be sightseeing. That way, if we get chased down by an angry mob, there'll be at least two of us running.
So...
If things pan out right, then these experiments might yield a solution to the Empire's shortage of magic energy.
Really?
There's a shortage of magic? I thought the general gospel of the Empire is that there's too much magic in the world. That would be their public opinion, yes. Privately, most people in the big cities and capitals enjoy the commodities that magic provides them with. From their mage light lamps, self-driving horse carriages, orbs of communication, you name it. Their complacent lifestyle is dependent on all these magical items, and every single one of them is powered by a magic crystal. Crystals are great for this purpose, but there are only so many to go around, which means the cost of these crystals steadily continues to rise, which in turn gives a disproportionate amount of power to those who own the crystal mines, since there's no alternative. But you don't need a crystal. You are completely normal, no magic human, using an alchemy table without any clear power source. If I can't figure out how you do it... Oh, if I can figure out how you do it, it might very well change the world as we know it.
That's great.
Oh, you misunderstand. I don't give a damn about those people. Their petty problems mean nothing to me, but with a discovery like that, I'm absolutely certain to be granted a professor title. I'm starting to not like Anne so much. Then I can go back to doing whatever research I want, and the world can continue to slowly destroy itself for some other dumb reason.
I wonder...
Gwen is one of those people who grows on you over time, and once ensnared, they'll not stop shoving all their friendship and love on you.
They are my best friend, honestly.
We were both rather quirky compared to some of the other kids growing up at the academy. Despite Quinn being a year ahead of me, we just clicked and remained strong friends since.
Tell me about...
That makes sense.
Guess it wouldn't make much sense for someone who isn't a mage, but I'll try to explain. Once a mage has graduated from the academy, we're thrown out. Some would call it being reassigned to professional positions, but that just means we get thrown out and into a job we didn't choose in a random city we don't know. Then we have to work for the rest of our lives, praying that we don't make a mistake that'll land us in prison or worse. The Mage Academy is the only place where we can be free to practice our craft without having the fear that a single mistake or misunderstanding could be the end of us. But the only people who get to stay at the academy after graduation are the professors. Those few experts who are allowed to study their craft to the benefit of all, the ones tasked with teaching the next generation. That's what I want for myself, hence my current trial.
I'll
I'll be off then.
Bye then.
The sooner we get this demon nonsense out of the way, the sooner I can maybe run some tests on you and mime.
How curious.
Michael, you're staring. Why are you staring?
Oh, my apologies. I was lost in thought. I've seen many spirits in my travels, but no one quite like you, Mime.
I don't think I've ever seen a traveler quite like you either. You're a lot more colorful.
I can imagine. Here's to defying expectations.
Ah, yes. This is a nice spot. Empty, quiet, perfect place to just disappear. Ah! Oh, hi. What brings you out here?
I'm sorry.
What, me frightened? No way. Okay, you may have spooked me a little.
Hear me out.
Not like I'm doing anything bad or anything. Just get a bit overwhelmed at times. All this walking around, talking with people, facing down scary stuff. It becomes a bit much, and I want to run and hide. I don't, though. We're not going to find a way to solve this mess if I hide in the trash all day, but you know, it's just nice to breathe a little once in a while. You understand, don't you? Totally understand. It's okay to be scared and to need a moment to gather yourself. I didn't realize you felt that way. You seem the sort of person who's so put together. You stand up to help even when none of this is your fault to begin with. It's very admirable, but call me selfish. I'm glad you can feel like this too. Makes me feel a little less silly for hiding out here. Tell you what, if you promise not to tell Victoria about my hiding spot, I won't tell either. If either of us needs a moment to breathe, we can come here. It's brilliant, right?
I have some questions.
You were acting pretty weird when we ran out to the forest. What was that all about? Me weird? No way. Ha ha ha. So you noticed, huh? There was a comma splice back there. So as we're getting more into the game, but comma splices are a very common error. Sorry I was acting weird. Forest is a special place for me. It's where Victoria found me, and there's lots of things I'd like answers to, but it's really not all that important. I'll stay on track for now. Don't we worry.
I wonder.
I'd like to talk about our companions. We're quite the odd bunch now, aren't we? What do you want to talk about?
Tell me about...
What do you think of Elizabeth?
Oh.
She's nice, if not a little bit scary. It's like you look at her and see a nice old lady, but then you look at her and you feel like a tiny mouse staring up at some ancient powerful beast. But that might just be me. She's your teacher after all. What's she like to you? Strict but fair. Has never treated me badly. Glad to hear it. Maybe I'm just intimidated because I never met a teacher before. I don't really know her that well, honestly. She just sort of showed up in my life all of a sudden and got me dragged into this whole mystery about the demons. It scared me senseless, honestly, but now that I've gotten to spend more time with her, I think she means well, even if she's a bit intense.
Tell me about...
He's great fun to be around. He's always smiling and positive and doesn't seem to mind my spiritness at all. I feel like he's hiding something, though. Like, I notice him sometimes staring off into space and he just looks so sad. I hope we can become friends so we can help him with whatever he's struggling with, hopefully before Victoria murders him. She seems sweet, but also really quiet. She's very focused on her research, and she only ever talks to me to ask questions about the spirit locket. It'd be nice to get to know her a little better, but honestly, she doesn't seem interested in making friends.
I'll be off.
Let's go!
Forest is quiet, save the sound of companions following you. Victoria does not look pleased to be out here again. So hurry up and get those samples so we can get back. I'll be quick. Thanks for doing this. I'm sure it'll be helpful later. Victoria huffs, but doesn't object. Pick up the samples you need for Quinn and leave. I don't know why we didn't do that the first time we were here, but sure.
Welcome back.
I have your samples!
That's...
Should be furious you went out there, though. At least you didn't go alone. Just, I can't help but feel something bad's about to happen. It's like a slow storm rolling in, and I cannot stop it. I'll get straight to work. I'll let you know as soon as I've learned anything new.
I'll be off.
Take care.
Take care! Okay, and now the only exclamation point we have is this one. You ready to retire for the night? I have not yet talked with Victoria, so I'm gonna do that first. The streets outside the shop are busy as usual, but people take a wide berth around the alchemy shop when they pass by. Whether it's the rumors of the fire or Victoria's imposing figure scaring them off is anyone's guess.
So...
Tea? What about a cup of tea? Victoria seems genuinely surprised by your offer, and her posture softens a little. That's a very kind offer, thank you. However, for now, I prefer to stay out here and observe. I will have time to rest once the mission is over. Is there anything you wanted?
About that...
When that demon attacked you in the shop, you cut it down like it was nothing. Where'd you learn to fight like that? It's a rather obvious question, isn't it? I'm a knight. Sometimes a knight has to fight, so I learned. It's that simple. But knights don't usually fight demons. You're free to believe whatever you want. I'm confident in my ability to slay both a demon and a human. That is all you need to know. You're not going to tell me where your power comes from, are you? You catch on quick.
About that...
What is it?
Althea is my commander, one of the greatest the Empire's ever had. I get my orders from her and carry them out. That's that.
I'll be off.
That's it. Let's get back to our mission. Okay. I still have some unfinished business with Elizabeth.
Welcome back.
I have some questions.
I see.
Just kidding.
Be careful.
Alrighty, we're ready to go to bed. End the day. The sun is setting over the Anemone Valley, and you and your strange group of companions have returned to the alchemy shop. As everyone gets settled, you and Elizabeth stand together observing the strange group.
Well, child, when I originally sent you out to bring back ingredients, this is not what I had in mind.
Mage, you keep your hands to yourself. I won't have you cooking up some vile magic using the remains of this shop.
I was simply trying to be a helpful guest, picking up some of the debris. But if you don't trust my abilities, perhaps Anne would be so kind as to use some of her tinker magic to fix this.
I specialize in magic-infused items, Michael. I can't just repair any chair or table I come across.
So you have specialized mages for fixing a table?
Well, of course not. The mages specializing in furniture do both chairs and tables. Don't be absurd.
And you wonder why I don't get magic from the Mage Academy.
Elizabeth sighs.
It seems every time I send you outside on an errand, you return with more and more eccentric characters. I fear I should put you on house arrest.
I've always liked pets.
At least we're making a difference. That's better than sitting around doing nothing.
Your optimism never fails to amuse me, child. Perhaps if there were more people like you in the world, it wouldn't be in such a state. I understand why you brought these people here, and I respect Victoria's judgment. I just worry all of this activity will draw unwanted attention to us.
There's a sudden knock on the door and the conversation dies.
This is strange. Who could that be at this hour?
It's Richie McRicherton. Elizabeth walks over to the door and she has barely turned the handle when it bursts open. Called it! The imposing figure of Goldner forces his way in, sneering at the group that awaits him inside.
Madam Alchemist. I hope you don't mind a bit of a surprise visit.
Two more men step into the shop. Their figures imposing as they push past the mine owner, and into the shop. Elizabeth keeps her cool, but you notice her knuckles turning white as she clutches her cane.
Sir Goldner. What an unexpected surprise. What brings you here at this late hour?
There's a crash as one of the men roughly pushes the remnants of a bookshelf aside in order to make his way out to the kitchen. Goldner grins smugly.
Merely the concerns of a good neighbor. You see, the lads and I have been quite distraught about these strange occurrences. First the forest, and then this strange fire. And now it has come to our attention that an outlander is sneaking around somewhere in town. We were merely concerned and wanted to check in on you. to make sure he hasn't been hiding out somewhere in the remains of your shop.
There's a crash out back, the sound of something shattering.
Your friends sure are a set of clumsy fellows. Are they like this when you invite them home for tea, too? Must be a hassle.
I remember you. You were down at the flower shop as well. Magic filth plotting together, are you? No wonder we citizens have to take matters into our own hands.
Look, Miss Eyre, the person you're looking for is obviously not here. Why don't you and your friends go and look for him somewhere else?
The man let out a cruel laugh.
And now you're even telling me what...
Clearly there's no right answer with this dude. He's just a jerk.
You have some gall, child. Pests like you should learn to keep your mouth shut.
That is quite enough.
Elizabeth steps in, her eyes are burning. You've seen your teacher mad before, but this is on a completely different level. Like a carefully contained inferno.
Monsieur Goldner, I am a patient woman, but I will not tolerate you insulting my apprentice. I believe now is the time for you and your companions to leave.
The man looks slightly taken aback by the sudden change in the old woman, and he even flinches a little from the burning fire in her eyes. But then he catches himself like a rooster puffing up its feathers.
Please, don't you dare speak like this to me. You do not want to make an enemy of me, madame.
I believe that any chance of a civil relationship ended a while ago, Monsieur. Now, if you would be so kind, get out of my shop.
The man looks furious, eyes flickering between you and your teacher. Victoria stands up, her hand lazily coming to rest on the hilt of her sword, red eyes glaring holes through the man.
Oh, we're having a brawl. Marvelous.
Wait, for what?
The guys from the back return and take one look at Victoria's glare before quickly excusing themselves and rushing through the room and out the front door. Goldner looks flustered and frustrated, but even he can see the battle is lost and sniffs dismissively.
Very well. I shall take my leave, but be warned. This is not the last you will hear about this.
The man leaves, slamming the door behind him, and there is a collective sigh of relief in the room.
That was it? And here I thought we were going to have some fun.
They're probably looking for him, an outlander? That's probably him.
Quiet, mage, or you'll be thrown right out with him.
Oh, Victoria, your bright spirit never fails to lighten up the mood.
Elizabeth lets out a low chuckle and slumps against her cane, looking awfully pale.
Are you okay?
Come here, let's sit down. Elizabeth chuckles as you carefully guide her to a chair so she can sit down for a moment. No need to fret, child, I'm fine. Just a bit more excitement than I'm used to, that's all. It's my own fault, though, for not wanting to admit sooner that this was the obvious outcome. That man has been on our case for years now, always looking for a chance to get in and wreak havoc on our hard-won peace.
That seems odd.
Just who are they looking for, anyway? What do they mean by Outlander? They are a people of mountain dwellers living beyond the borders of the Althean Empire. Oh, okay. So, not Michael, probably. They are a reclusive society that rarely interacts with any of their neighboring states. The fact that one of them shows up here at this time, highly
A
suspicious.
stranger far away from home, caught in a local conflict due to their race. How very predictable.
Gotta go find this person, get some answers.
Do realize.
You want to go outside? Don't you think it's best if we stay out of this? We're already in way too much for my liking. Come on now, Anne, my dear. Where's your hero spirit? Some poor fellow is out there in the city being chased by an angry mob. Don't you want to lend a hand? Anne just glares at him dully, then sighs. I guess we could go take a look. I agree that catching this person first seems to be in our interest, but he could have gone anywhere in town by now. Outlanders are magical beings, though, right? So shouldn't a hunter like you be able to track him down?
About that.
We should at least give it a try, right? You might have important information that could help us. I'm loath to admit it, but I agree with you,
We don't
Mime.
have a lot of time, but paragons help you if any of you try something funny.
Fun? In your presence? Perish the thought.
I like how they interact with each other. You head out into the streets and begin your search. I feel like that's something a lot of visual novels miss, is the non-player characters interacting with each other. Victoria takes the lead, hand firmly planted on the hilt of her sword and eyes hard and focused. The streets are quiet at this late hour, and you notice nothing suspicious on your way to the market square.
Victoria, you can sense magic as well?
I guess that explains how you found me out in the forest back then. Actually, hunters can't sense magic. It's the swords they carry that guide them toward chaotic magic. They are holy weapons forged by rituals following the teachings of Izith, the paragon and founder of the Mage Academy. I guess I shouldn't be surprised you would know about these practices, Anne.
Hunters did save my life by bringing me to the academy, so I've made it a point to be well informed.
Saved your life, huh? Also, Michael, would you stop that? I'm trying to concentrate.
You turn to Michael, who is smirking innocently, a little purple flame dancing in his palm.
Sorry. I was just curious as to how effective the holy weapon of yours was.
Honestly, all I see is the piece of dragon bone strapped to the hilt of your sword. Dragon bone? It's quite the rare material. Dragons have been gone for centuries, after all. But it's quite popular in the use of weapon making, since it provides the wielder a bit of an edge, so to say, over magical opponents.
Don't be absurd. Dragons? Really? That sounds like a fairy tale. Victoria, don't you agree?
But Victoria doesn't answer, her head snapping to the side at the same time as Mime's ears perk up in attention. Guys, I'm sensing another sudden burst of spirit energy. In that instant, a familiar kid comes shooting around the corner, wide-eyed and out of breath.
Alchemist! I'm so glad I found... I was going to the alchemy shop, but... Ronan, my brother... I saw him.
Slow down there, Kim. Take a deep breath. Kim tries to comply, taking a deep breath in. And now you release it? He wheezes it out, blue in the face. My brother... He was with a group of people, and they were all dragging this tall guy with him. I followed them out of town. Looked like they went into the mines. That was dangerous, following them like that. You shouldn't take such risks. What if they had spotted you? I guess you're right, but I didn't want to lose him again.
Going after them now, aren't you?
I want to come along as well.
Actually...
You've done enough. Please trust that we can do our work now, too.
I'll leave it to you, but... Please, take care, okay?
Kim leaves and you follow his directions to the mines. You arrive and head inside. The faint glow of crystal is the only thing lighting your way. Once you go in further, you notice someone standing guard. You're pretty sure you've seen him around town buying flowers from Quid's shop, but now his expression is empty, eyes unfocused, like he isn't entirely there.
Yep. That one's definitely influenced by a spirit.
This is bad. If he sees us, then he'll alert whoever's in there. There's no obvious way to sneak up on him either. Don't you know some alchemy remedy that might help us out? Maybe something that'll knock him out for a bit? It's not a bad idea, though you should probably be careful not to hurt him. You say that, but witnesses are such a hassle. Whoops. So you can choose whether you want to kill him or not, basically. That's interesting. Drop the potion, take a moment to weigh the vial in your hands before you throw it into the cave. Glass shatters and a thin white mist spreads. The guard looks around startled, makes a move to run, and immediately slumps forward, collapsing on the floor.
Well, isn't this neat?
Alchemy can be kind of scary.
Actually...
Made sure the potion only knocked him out.
Really?
Makes me curious just what other stuff this harmless type of magic is capable of. Don't get any ideas. We should move forward while we still have the element of surprise. Always so cold. Very well, let's go. You wander deeper into the mines. The passage ends in an open cave. Hiding behind a pile of big rocks, someone is standing in the center. A man is on his knees in the cold cave floor, and before them stands Ronan in his frightening demon form.
Have to excuse my lack of manners, but I am growing impatient. Me and my brethren here have been waiting quite a while for this moment, and your stubborn hero charade is honestly starting to piss me off. So I will ask you, for the last time, how do we break the seal?
The man on the ground is unlike anyone you have ever seen before. His skin is a colorless gray, his hair is white as snow, but along his exposed arm run glowing blue markings like crystal ore, and when he looks up to glare at the demon, his eyes are alight with the same gemstone glow.
You are fooling yourself if you think I'd ever bargain with a demon. Your end will come soon enough, and you will return to your prison once more.
Ronan lets out a low cackle.
And you believe that you will be the one to do that? The valiant hero swooping in to save the day? How well is that working out for you?
My failure is my shame to bear. I cannot change that, but I refuse to add any more regrets to my name. I will tell you nothing.
And it's good that there are other ways for me to gain your cooperation.
With a wave of his hand, a demon appears at his side, tall and lanky with soulless eyes, staring down at the Outlander almost hungrily. The Outlander looks mildly queasy, but hides it well behind a sneer.
So you intend to have this one possess me? You don't have the courage to do so yourself?
I usually prefer to be more hands-on. However, this body I'm inhabiting still has its uses, so I can't give it up quite yet. Do not fear, though. My brother here is quite capable of the task.
The demon moves in and the Outlander tries to shift away, but there's nowhere to go. You observe the cave carefully, feeling a spark of nerve settle in your stomach. So this was what you agreed to back when you made the deal with Althea. These demons are not kidding around, you know first-hand experience, yet there's something has to be done. I am ready for this, I accept the path I have chosen, and I will emerge victorious. I'm afraid I have taken on too much, but I will push through my fears to do what is right. You breathe in through your nose, closing your eyes to find your resolve, and you step out into the cave on shaking legs, hands balled into fists as you yell.
Enough, Ronan. I won't let you hurt any more people.
Ronan's eyes turn to you, and his head tilts curiously to the side with a wicked grin.
Well, if it isn't the little alchemist. I could have sworn I'd left you dead in a ditch not too long ago. How interesting. Well, that gives me a welcome opportunity to thank you. If it hadn't been for your timely arrival back in that alley, I would never have succeeded in possessing this foolish human properly. But, alas, you are not useful to me now. So it's time for you to die. For real this time.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I agree. After all, it would be a hassle if my guinea pig was to die before I even got to start my research.
You and Mime do what you have to do. We'll make sure you're not interrupted.
Let's do this!
Seems I've underestimated you, alchemist. Trust me when I say that will not happen again. Man disappears into the shadows. You turn to a stranger on the ground who watches you curiously. I guess I sealed the demon that was trying to possess this guy, but couldn't actually seal away Ronan. You rush over to the man on the ground and begin the work of untying his bindings. You okay? He didn't hurt you, did he? You ask, concerned, and freeze up when he looks at you, those glowing eyes piercing right through to your soul. I'm fine, thank you. Your help is most appreciated.
I'm glad.
Glad we arrived in time. You untie the binds and help him stand. His hand feels warm in yours the brief moment they touch, and he smiles gravely. Mercy smiled on me when she sent such capable assistance my way. He looks past you to where the others are standing, and he bows his head deeply.
I'm most grateful to all of you. That was quite a dangerous situation I found myself in.
Yeah, you really got yourself in a fine mess there. Just who are you, and how do you end up captured by such fine people?
My name is Caden. And as for how I came to be here, I was trying to help stop these demons leaking out of their prison. However, my efforts seem to have done nothing more than make the situation worse.
So you had something to do with the demons escaping into town?
Victoria's hand is already reaching toward her sword, and Michael tuts.
How about we let the man talk before you draw that thing,
That's new.
You said you were trying to stop the demons from escaping some prison? Does that mean the spirits were locked away somewhere nearby? That's correct. This underground cavern hosts one of the few known demon prisons within the borders of the Althean Empire. The underground crystal ore seems to have been used to form a protective seal, not unlike how the Goddess of Mercy won the final battle of the dragons by casting a spell.
What?
What are you talking about? Goddess of Mercy? This doesn't make any sense to me. Could you please explain?
Don't
You
understand.
don't know? How is that possible? Maybe the Dags use other terms? These are all legends of the old religion. I'm afraid, my tall friend, that you will have to fill us in, as these stories are not commonly told among people in this land anymore.
How curious.
It's puzzling.
I suppose I can give it a try. Though I am no bard.
A great many centuries ago, before there were humans or outlanders, the Elder Ones who inhabited the continent were at war with the ancient dragons. The war ended when one of the 7 gods, the Goddess of Mercy, cast a spell that sealed away the spirits of the dragons for good. The world was finally at peace, and she and her brethren disappeared. This legend inspired many powerful mages in the centuries to come. They strived to create similar spells to get rid of unfavorable spirits, and these ancient spells relied on the crystals that occur naturally beneath this continent to fuel their seal. My people hold records over many such spirit prisons spread out across the continent, one of which resides under this valley. When we became aware that humans were now mining this resource, we suspected that that might have unfavorable consequences. It weakened the seal. Exactly. I came here to mend the damage that had been done, though looking back now, I probably should have gone about this differently.
I brought with me an artifact for the task, and was in the midst of performing the ritual to mend the rift, when one of the miners interrupted me. I'm actually not too sure what happened after. The ritual failed, and I woke up in that man, Goldner's estate.
Goldner!
I learned that he was the one in charge of the mining activity, and tried to explain the situation to him. However, he proved to be quite difficult.
That sounds about right.
Good old Goldner. Always being an ass, even when the safety of the world is at stake.
That blasted idiot refused to listen to reason. Kept me locked up for days. And when I finally made a lucky escape, he and his goons chased me all across town, and I lost them. But then ran straight into those demon-possessed humans, and, well, you know the rest.
Looks like you've had a real stellar introduction to the outside world.
How shocking.
This is all so much new information, my head's spinning. Dragon spirits? The mines? What are we going to do about all this?
We have to do something about this seal. Making sure no more demons escape should be our first priority.
Do you think we should ask Alithia for help? I mean, I know you're
awesome night, Victoria, but would it make more sense to have, I don't know, more people here?
Apparently, her name is Alethea. I've been just doing Althea. Alethea.
I am afraid it's not that simple. While I do think Caden's story is worth looking into, the people in charge of the Knights aren't easily going to dispatch people and possibly cause panic. Not when the only witness is a foreigner.
Well, what do you know, Victoria? I didn't think I'd see the day a knight would admit the system was corrupt. Honesty suits you.
Oh, get lost, Michael. I never said the Empire was perfect, but unlike you, I prefer to make positive changes while keeping order, instead of simply burning the whole thing down.
You say that as if the world weren't already on fire.
Is no one going to address the fact that all of this is based on, what? A legend? Dragons and spells of some forgotten goddess? None of this is based on factual information.
The records kept by my people are not lacking. If you want proof, then I am sure we can cross-reference it with any of this town's records.
That's going to be difficult.
I don't follow.
Back before our dear Academy mage was born, the Empire decided keeping records was too troublesome. It's much easier to appear competent after all, when all proof of your past mistakes disappears. So all such documents were destroyed.
Corruption, corruption.
They are gone, together with the people who wrote them.
So the people would willingly destroy their own history? That's madness.
Welcome to human society.
His story does seem to match up with what we've experienced, and I don't see any reason why he would lie. I trust him for now. His story at least warrants some investigation, don't you agree?
I still think this is a waste of time, but whatever. Do as you please.
With Anne appeased for the moment, Victoria turns to the Outlander, questions in her eyes.
You mentioned some kind of spell that could stop this?
I brought an artifact with me that has the power needed to mend tears and seals like these. If I'd succeeded in stabilizing it, then things could have gone back to the way they were. As long as no one went and broke it again.
Did you say powerful artifact?
Anne, please calm yourself. You'll scare the man.
The artifact is one of my people's most valuable treasures. However...
Well, what are you waiting for? Hand
Goldner
it
took
over
it.
So I can take a look.
Goldner took it, didn't he?
He did. I have no idea where he might have taken it.
Great. Now what?
I feel like a lot of our problems would be solved if we just murdered Goldner. I'm not saying that that is like the right or moral thing to do. I'm just saying it seems like it would solve a lot of problems.
We don't have much of a choice, do we? We have to get that artifact back.
You know, we can't just waltz into the man's home and steal something. As a noble, no doubt he has all sorts of security to protect himself.
You're right. We should just kill this Goldner guy and stop the mining. That would be the easy solution.
Kinda with you, Michael. I'm with you a little bit. If not for the whole murder part, but yeah, he seems like no redeeming qualities.
World, is that a better solution?
No one will have to die
if we work smart. Yeah, but there's also the problem of if you kill somebody, then somebody else could move in and be a new cartel and...
And trust me, you wouldn't survive the aftermath of such a scandal.
Spoil sport.
We'll find a way to get the artifact back from Goldner, but we're going in with a proper plan. There's still much about this whole situation that's too unclear.
Well, if information is what we're after, Caden, you've got to go through as much of this ritual as you can with me. I also need some detailed descriptions of this artifact we're looking for.
Okay, I'll go. There's no need to pull on me like that.
Guess we're going back to the shop? I wonder what Elizabeth is going to say to all of this.
Really only one way to find out, isn't there?
I guess that's true. Such a strange group and such a strange quest.
Okay, they don't have to keep saying it over and over again.
What will become of us all?
You leave the mines and return to the shop for the night. And we finished chapter 1. That is going to be as far as we get today. I definitely do not want to spoil the entire game for those who would like to. I did just save, so that's fine. We have now at least met all of the characters on the title screen. Yeah, I think this is a quality visual novel type experience. I feel like the alchemy puzzle game is kind of like lame. Like I don't think it really adds much other than, you know, that there is a skill-based component to break things up, but it's not like it requires a lot of skill. It could maybe require things... Oh, it's going to do the opening sequence again. It could maybe require things if it is... if you're, like, trying to do it in the fewest amount of moves or something like that. Like, maybe the difficulty will go up, or maybe you can get awards for doing it in fewer moves or something like that. Like, I could see how that would maybe do it. And if that's the case, then it's kind of nice that it scales. But, yeah, I think the characters are interesting. We didn't get to know much about Caden, really, but he seems nice, I guess. He's, you know, knows about history and stuff. But, yeah. I think this is a good game. I am feeling happy about my purchase of the Humble Bundle for $18, in which I got this game and like 7 more games for the price of less than this game on Steam. So yeah, pretty happy with it. I am gonna be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. and I believe we'll be playing Coffee Talk. But it's specifically the sequel. The sequel, episode 2 of Coffee Talk, came in the bundle. But for now, let's see if we can raid somebody. Let's see if we can raid somebody. Do-do-do. Let's see. Wolfman is playing Soul Blazer AP Randomizer. So I guess we can give that a shot. I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Please be sure to stay safe and have a good one.